Okay, today I'm going to be vibe coding a AGI style agent using the LLM API keys. For this one, I'll be using the Mistral API. I'll be using Cursor as my copilot IDE. I'll be using Brave browser as my browser. Um, it's going to be using an agent loop that can plan, take actions, observe results, and improve its next move in real time. I'll keep it lightweight and iterative on purpose, just for the purpose of this video. I'll try to have a nice prototype running by the end of the video. Um, I might use Anthropic Claude for general brainstorming if needed, but if Cursor can handle everything, then we'll go ahead and just do that. So I'm going to go ahead and say git add a git commit updated with basic browser. All right. Now I'm going to run it. To run it, I need to say node. Well, let me. So I have a prompt here. I'm going to change this to what is the capital of the United States. Right. I'm going to run that test. Okay, looks like it completed. We'll take a look at that output. The capital of the United States is Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, White House, Capitol. Okay, so we got a result back. Now, if we take a look at the browser, okay, it's got a pop up here, so let's see if we have some pop up. Should not have pop up. Let's see if we can remove the pop up. Yeah, this pop up here needs to be removed. It has some modal there. I'm going to refresh. All right. So now I'm going to ask the same question. What is the capital of the United States? API not key. Okay. Let's paste that error in here. The browser, we receive this error. API key should be loaded from browser.js to I'll rename this to .json. Also, the JSON, since we're naming it a JSON, we need to change the format. So we need to change the key into JSON format. Okay. Let's take a look, refresh. What is the capital of the United States? it's giving us a common cores error, common problem with browsers. Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. What is the capital of the United States? Okay, so we did get a basic chat response. Now, if I refresh, we don't have that. So now we need to persist that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file here. We got to say new. Call it server.js, right? In my instructions, I'm going to say we need to store conversations to the chat log. Use server.js to CRUD the JSON and fetch/persist the logs. Okay. Before I do that, I'm going to make a commit. While that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and create a LLM. .js. So the LLM, what this is going to do is act as our basic agent looper, right? So this thing should be able to plan, so we need a loop that can plan, take actions, observe results, and improve on the next move in real time, right? So now all we need to do is say node server.js. When the server is running, you can start now. I'll say what is the capital of the United States? Now if I refresh, that should persist. It should not go away. In the instructions, we need to load Markdown naturally in the chat box. That is important. Another good thing about updating the instructions this way is you keep track of everything that you have instructed the LLM to do in your Git history. If you just put it here, you don't have those instructions that you had over time. So it's always good to put these here, commit it for each one so you know what the instructions were. So. All right, now the markdown is naturally displayed. So that's a basic, that is a very basic chatbot, but it's not yet an AGI. So for it to be an AGI, what we need to do is start defining things that it can do in the back end. So for example, let's say let's ask, go on, okay, so let's say yeah, okay, let's say provide a list of examples from each in the comma separated sentence points. So, in order for us to really give this to be a AGI, it's going to have to go out of this chat box here, right? So this can be a way to talk to it, but we actually need to give it a way to go out of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into a sidebar, and then we'll have a main element here. So let's update that. So divide the page into two elements, and the right sidebar will continue to be the chat box, but the left main content will be a iframe with a address bar as its nav bar. Okay. So we can take a look at the browser. We should end up getting side by side. check that. All right, so we're not going to be able to go to Google. Google doesn't allow iframes, but we might be able to go to Wikipedia, right? Yeah, we can get to Wikipedia. So if we say, now, if we actually say, hey, let's go ahead and do something, it won't work because unfortunately all it can do is chat. So what we need to do, go ahead and add this. All right, so what we need to do is we need to update the instructions to say update LLM.js to provide actions that we can do, like click, type, and interpret if user is giving a normal speech. We should also say summarize a normal speech or a command from the above list. This can be done with a branching prompt that provides a list of available actions and asks the LLM if the user is asking to do one of these things, then return a function call for that command. Otherwise, respond as normal. So this is the beginning of proto AGI type of behavior, right? So it needs to be able to determine if you're giving it a command or if you're just giving it a normal conversation. And it needs to have a list of commands that it can do, right? So can it, I mean, this is more of an agent, right? Not AGI yet, but it's more of an agent. So the first step is just chatbot, just raw inference. Then you move up to agents where they can actually start doing things, doing actions. Then you move up to AGI where it can decide complicated thinking. So we're not at the AGI level yet, right? In terms of like general intelligence, but we're moving from chatbot into agent. Now, keep in mind the chatbot part was pretty simple, right? That was done probably in the first 5 minutes. Agents take a little bit more work, a little bit more complicated. Let's see if we have any available actions. Click, type, summarize, navigate, scroll. So we have 5 primary functions here. Gonna keep everything. Gonna commit this. We'll take a look. Okay, one thing we want to do is we want to say history. So let's add a new file here. We'll say history. We'll say JSON. In the instructions, we want to say using the history JSON v server JS should CRUD to it, just like it does for chat log, but instead for URLs. We should always navigate to the most recent history. We will hard code any JSON first website as Wikipedia. Okay. This is so we're not just hitting a blank page every time. We'll default to whatever page we're at last, but we'll default for the first time to Wikipedia. Alright. Now we want to refresh. Actually, for this, we need to restart the server more than likely. So, restart the server, refresh. Let's see, where's keep. Still not defaulting, so we'll let that. Alright, now it's defaulting. Good. Now if I say, actually, you know what, let me check the chat log. Yeah, so the chat log is not defaulting in the chat box. General errors, you don't necessarily have to update the instruction. You can just put those in the prompt. Take a look at the browser JS. We now have about 500 lines. So once we start getting this much lines, it's probably a good idea to start breaking these functions up into separate files, but I'll keep it here just for the demo. Got load history, save to history, navigate, refresh. Right, these are all basic stuff that an agent might need. Right. Now, sometimes when you get these issues, a good thing is you can just open this in Finder, right? And you can just throw these into something like Claude. You know, you can use Opus. Opus is a good one. So if it doesn't fix the error, we'll throw it into Opus. Alright, I'll restart the server. Refresh. Hello. Okay, it's not working. So let's throw that into Opus. Everything except for the API key. So oftentimes, rather than putting in your own instructions, sometimes it's better to go ahead and let one of these AIs take a look, and then you can take that instruction and you can put that into the cursor, right? Okay, let's see if this fixes the problem. Sometimes it starts doing things like right now it's trying to use a local storage. So I don't agree with that. Trying to use local storage and make certain optional. So sometimes you have to have a good eye for what cursor is trying to do, right? It tried to do something which we didn't say. So it's going to put this back. And this is the first part of this series. I will make this into a series since, you know, it takes a little bit of time. Let's try to restart the server. Okay, that didn't work. So I'm gonna server is running. Let's check for any errors. I see. So let's paste those in. Okay, let's see if we got any difference in functionality. Okay, looking better now. We got the conversation history. Let's try a simple command, navigate to, let's say, example.com. All right, we can go to example.com. Let's say go to Wikipedia, or navigate to Wikipedia. And we can go back to Wikipedia. Let's see if we can click. We might click English, or actually we'll say summarize this page. See if we can summarize it. Okay, we got an error there, which makes sense. For that, we have to add optical vision. Maybe we can say click a link. Okay, so navigation works. The other ones we'll have to fix that. Now, I'm going to leave it there for this video, but this is step one in creating an AGI agent.